when it comes to really differentiating yourself, in a lot of cases are more work for you, but those little extra moments of truth, 90% of sellers do not want to go to the extra mile to do these little things. And those are the ones that are going to be left behind moving forward. So my hair is super frizzy. Everything's gonna be fine. So how are you going to build a moat around your Etsy shop to protect yourself from other Etsy competitors that are currently entering the market or already exist? One of the biggest complaints with Etsy is that there's so much competition coming into the market. There's just a bunch of copycats. There's people stealing people's designs. Overall, just a lot more competition. Unfortunately, that's what happens with any sales channel when people start to discover, one, how easy it is, two, how good the margins are, and three, you can potentially make a lot of money. With that being said, how are we going to go about building a business that is going to be protected in a sense from your potential competition or current competition? That's what we're going to be covering in this video, so let's get into it. Welcome back, guys. My name is Hannah Gardner. If you're new to the channel, I talk about building brands mainly on Etsy and Shopify, but a lot of entrepreneurial stuff as well. So if that is what you're into, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's just hop right into it. So the first thing that we need to understand and get a good perspective on is that competition is not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you're completely new. Having competition in a marketplace, and not only competition, but competitive competition, like somebody that's actually like pretty decent, is not a bad thing. And the reason why it's not a bad thing is because, especially for newer sellers, when you do have legitimate competitors or competition, it means that there is people that want to buy what you have to sell. So it's not like you have to worry when you're entering a saturated market whether or not people want what the actual thing that you have to sell. It just means then that you have to build a more competitive business, and competition forces us to build more competitive businesses. This is true not only for e-commerce, but it's true for any business model in a sense, right? So how do you build a more competitive business? Well, there's two types of sellers that this video is going to be speaking to, right? So there is somebody that's been selling on Etsy and all of a sudden you're seeing that, you know, the moat that you may have had before, or maybe you didn't even have a real moat, but maybe you're just been selling for a long time and you're seeing a decline in your sales because of the competition factor. Or maybe you are a new seller and you're just wanting to get into Etsy in this upcoming 2023 and you're just getting overwhelmed by how saturated you think the market is, and that I don't really know how I can break through a saturated market. When you are going to actually go ahead and build this moat around your business, how are you going to do that? I'm gonna give you a couple of ways that you're gonna build this moat around your business. Before we even do that, we need to understand who even is our competition. This is especially important for seasoned sellers that maybe haven't taken a glance at what's changing in their niche and in the marketplace for the items that they're selling. So the first thing that I'm gonna do, for example, I was selling baby products. So I'm gonna come in my computer here and I'm going to type in a keyword that is a keyword product fit with higher search volume for my products, and a keyword ideally that I do want to rank for. So when I type in baby shower gift, this is done by my Sales Samurai Chrome extension. It's showing me the search volume, longer tail keyword baby shower gift, right? So 1,087 search volume, monthly search volume. It's pretty decent. It's not like a huge keyword, but it has search volume, so it could potentially be a keyword that I would want to go after. And one thing to note here, even though I typed in this keyword, we see that this guy is in page 1, position 1 for that keyword. Remember, listings are ranked differently per location. So me being, this one might be showing up page 1, position 1 where I am, but someone say in Ohio or whatever, it might be ranked differently. But overall, the positioning of the listings is still a good indicator if it's selling a lot, if you've even made it to the first page. But another way that you can tell if it's selling a lot just based off of other KPIs is, does it have a popular now badge? Does it have a bestseller badge? Does the shop itself have many reviews? And then when I click on that shop, does it actually have many sales? So for instance, if we look at this guy here, we see over 2,300 reviews, 10,000 sales. Now, if I look at the age of this shop, which I can do that with my Sales Samurai Chrome extension, they have a tool here that's called the competition tracker. where I can actually add a shop name here, and then I can see how many listings they have, how many sales they have, and in what amount of time. So for instance here, this guy has had over 24,000 sales in 2 years, where this guy has only had 10,000 sales in 2 years. And why is that? Well, this guy has 350 listings where this guy only has 52 listings, which probably has something to do with why that other guy has had double the sales in the same amount of time. So obviously you're gonna wanna emulate this guy. So you're gonna wanna go to his store and see his or her store and see what they have going on within their Etsy shop. And I would do this type of analysis, basically say 5 to 10 of your most legitimate competitors. So people that are selling very similar items as you that have grown a significant amount in a certain amount of time. And like I mentioned before, I'm looking at how long has the store been open, what sales volume they've had, so how many units have they sold, and also how many listings do they have. And those are gonna be some KPIs that indicate maybe I need to add more products or maybe more listings, so on and so forth. Now, a really annoying thing with e-commerce in general is like, you obviously, once someone sees that you're crushing it, which it's very popular, you know, when you're on YouTube and you share your product names or your store names, you literally open the floodgates for people to copy your designs, copy your keywords, copy your listings, steal your designs, all that stuff. That is literally part of e-commerce, and it's super unfortunate. So what I'm not telling you though is, I'm not saying to look at your competitors and just blatantly copy them, right? Because that just takes the creativity out of entrepreneurship and business in general. I'm not saying to do that at all. What I'm saying is look for the big variables that they have going on within their store and take that data as KPIs of things that you need to do for your own store. So like I just mentioned, how many listings do they have is just one of those variables. The next couple of things that you need to analyze are these. And these attributes are what you are gonna aim to achieve in your own business to build that moat that we keep talking about within your company. With that being said, that doesn't mean just launching a bunch of non-quality products or listings, right? So the second way that you can really build that moat is enhancing the quality of your items. Now, you might be like, this is like pretty common sense, but you'd be surprised. A lot of people will not go the extra mile to learn what they need to learn or go to the lengths that they actually need to go to build a better quality product. And that speaks for itself in your reviews compared to your competition, and testimonial, and just in the momentum that you're gonna have versus your competition. Really analyzing, okay, my competition is doing, they have this many listings, but also what is the quality of that? Can I beat them in quality? So is the material that they're using a lower quality material where I can advertise that we're using this type of material, or this is ethically sourced where maybe, you know, they're getting their raw materials from China or something like that. The third way that you can start building that moat around yourself compared to your competitors is by their value propositions. So in those 5 to 10 top stores that you want to beat or meet, right? What value propositions are they offering? So what are you getting versus what are you paying? There is a lot of things that go into perceived value in someone's mind and the psychology of what people perceive as value. And we'll talk about a few of those throughout this video, but one of those is, am I getting more for less? So for instance, if you're going into the baby niche and you're selling baby bows, right? So maybe your competition has a best-selling listing, has a pack of 3 bows. Well, can you meet or beat them? So can you offer 3 bows for the same price, or can you actually offer more for the same price? Or maybe if you can't even meet them at the same price, it just show in that first image photography that you can get 5, price of the 5, maybe a little bit more expensive than the 3, but still relatively when you do the math, you're still getting more for less when you break it down of what they're paying per bow. Now, the next way that you can really build a moat around yourself is offering more product features. So an example of this would be like if you're selling baby onesies, right? And this is where it's really important that you're learning the needs, wants, fears, and goals of your customer avatar. So if you're selling baby onesies, maybe someone's selling beautifully shot baby onesie, but the baby onesie has buttons. And we all know how much new moms love to sit there and button their baby onesie, whereas you could go into the marketplace and advertise your baby onesie, but it has a zipper, right? So something like that where you see that opportunity of like, Actually, nobody really loves buttoning their onesie, and you can be like, oh, we offer, you know, this easy baby onesie that you can zipper it up and down instead of sit there and try to button your baby while holding him in place. One thing that I really want to hone in on and mention is like, when it comes to really differentiating yourself, again, like whether it's in quality, whether it's in product features, whether it's in bundling, so better value proposition, in a lot of cases are more work for you, but those little extra moments of truth the buyer has with seeing all these little extra things that you have that your competition doesn't have is going to be what makes you stand out versus your competition. And 90% of sellers do not want to go to the extra mile to do these little things. And those are the ones that are going to be left behind moving forward. So if you can do more things to enhance your products, your listings that do maybe mean more work for you, but again, it's building that moat because it's work that your competitors don't want to do. It's going to help you immensely. So another really good example of this, I can give one of my brands as an example. For one of my brands, we import textile fabric, like a very high quality niche type of fabric. And essentially one of the big pain points with this type of fabric, this material that we work with, is there's a lot of quality control issues, like a lot. So by default, most of our competition doesn't offer the amount of variations that we offer when it comes to colors, when it comes to sizes, all the things that really on the back end are a really big pain in the ass to deal with, but we deal with it. In that case scenario, we've just completely built a moat around ourselves because we can offer way more product variation. 95% of our competition isn't willing to go through the work and deal with that big issue that we have to deal with the fabric coming in damaged, coming in not matching from the last batch. Our seamstress that comes in and helps us sew everything. It's a huge headache because she's constantly repairing the fabric before we can even make it into our products. Another way that you can arguably differentiate yourself is with price point. And I say arguably because price point is not always. Price point is very contingent on your niche. Sometimes if you're in a niche like say jewelry, right? Jewelry is a very perceptual based industry where a lot of cases, if it's cheaper, people are perceiving it to be of worse quality. If you're marketing it and staging it properly, you can attract a way higher quality avatar than say somebody that is selling wholesale stickers for your business, right? In which case you have business owners buying those stickers because they need the stickers for their packaging or something. You know, the business owner is looking to cut costs where they can with their packaging. So they're trying to find good quality, but still a cheaper price. Price is something that is very contingent on your niche, right? If you're in a perceptual based niche where higher price equals higher quality, then that's a specific customer avatar. Whereas if you're somebody competing at a price point level, so that's something that you have to decipher. And in your competitor analysis, when you look at the top people or your main competition, you are going to be looking at their price. It doesn't mean you need to copy their price exactly, but you're gonna ballpark essentially, if I am in a price competitive niche, how can I meet or beat where they're at? Now, if you're in a more perceptual based niche, price isn't gonna be something that's gonna make you stand out immensely, because if you are attracting that customer avatar that wants to pay for better quality, then it doesn't really matter so much, where it's like your marketing can just really outshine your competition. That leads me to my last one. If you want to even go an extra mile, which we know on Etsy, the personalization stores are the ones that really make all the money on Etsy, just being completely honest. If you offer personalization on anything, it just builds that moat even more. And a lot of people are not willing to get the machinery or put in the extra time or even the extra money that it is going to cost you to offer that quality or that level of service to your customers. But if you can figure out a way to streamline that process within your business and allow custom sizes, allow you to do engravings, allow you to do embroiderings, that is going to set you apart in a super elegant way. And like I mentioned before, like a lot of this moat building stuff does require more money, more work, and more standard operating procedure planning within your business. At the end of the day, like I mentioned before, guys, like the people that are really building those strong moats around themselves are the companies that are really going in on fine-tuning their research and the development side of their business. So making more unique products, having those value propositions of maybe bundling items so they're perceived of getting more for less, or just more in general, personalization options. They have better product features. That is why it's really important that, especially if you're first starting out, that you choose a niche or products or a category that you actually care about, because if you're going to be investing time, energy, money into something, then it should be something that you really have a connection to and you're passionate about. Because if not, the burn rate is going to come fast, and it's going to come faster than it would have came back in 2020 because there's just that much more competition. So if you're going to put in the time and energy to build a business, then do it with something that you actually care about, because that is going to energize you to keep going. I hope you got some value out of this video. Check out Sales Samurai in my description or any of my other tools that I use for my own businesses, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.